like, it's all good.
You said the bike kids and basketball kids got in a tussle last week?
Yeah, sometimes when the cops are lurking around the park, the kids will get out of the skate park on their bikes, and they'll like ride on the basketball diamond and do like flat ground tricks. And then sometimes there'll be a lot of basketball players wanting to use it. So I guess there's a little conflict there.
Well, he's not asking and saying he wants more of that Jasmine Lady. I mean, bottom line, a solution needs to be made so the skateboarders and the bikers have somewhere to exercise their right for their love of their sport of choice, basically.
Yeah, one day the council was telling us...
Yeah, who wants more violence like that? Of course not.
Yeah, one day the council was telling us about the Horseman BMX Center out on Highway 18, like between Lucerne and Apple Valley. There's a Horseman BMX track that, you know, we explained to the council that's two separate sports, BMX racing and then, you know, and doing these tricks on the ramps and all. It's two different sports. So, you know, maybe they could build a skate park out there at that Horseman Center. I think right next to Town Hall, where they have the jazz festivals and all, would be the perfect place because it's right next to the police station. So they could, like, keep an eye on it, you know, and then maybe they wouldn't even have to put someone in charge if it was by the police station, because then the kids would know.
And the police are right there.
Yeah, they're right there. I better put my helmet on. Because, you know, even on all these videos you watch on YouTube these days, none of these kids have helmets on. My kids will show me some videos where these guys are jumping over freeway overpasses, like Evel Knievel type stuff, and they're not even wearing helmets. I'm like, to me even, you know, having all these years in the riding scene, I'm like, man, put a helmet on.
I think you covered that, Jasmine Lady. I think that we probably need to have somebody out there having them sign waivers. Plus, they have the waiver out there saying that they're not responsible, you know, if somebody...
Right. Just like you saw at Parks Down the Hill, right? Isn't that what you're saying?
Right.
Captain Crazy?
Yeah, I was telling Art during the break, you know, that when I go to the park a lot and I see all these little leagues baseball going on and the family participation, and you know, it makes me feel sad that I can't participate in my son's sport and have a picnic and ride and have some fun unless I want to drive to Vegas, you know, or Harupa or somewhere. And it's like, you know, I take my kids to those places once in a while, you know, but with gas prices like they are, you know, I feel like the towns need to come together to do something for these kids.
Well, she was what? She was at the concert too, apparently, last night, like you were. Did you see skateboarders skating on the sidewalks with no helmets and on sidewalks with signs saying...
I saw one kid with one of those goofy boards that have like the one wheel in the front and the back, and you got to wobble around on it. I saw one of those.
My son wants one of those. I don't know. He's kind of little.
Yeah, I saw one of those the other day, and I tried to get on it at one of those department stores. I'm like, whoa, it's hard compared to a regular skateboard.
Well, basically, when you sign that waiver, that pretty much washes your hands of any type of, who cares if they obey the rules? If they don't obey the rules of the park, you ask them to leave. Simple.
And they break
they
break their face open, not obeying the rules. That's not...
Jasmine Lady, look, they've got youth sports, and I've been involved in youth sports for many years. I don't care, baseball. They all have officials. They've got board members on site whenever activities are going on. If you break the rules at the Little League park, whether you're doing something you're not supposed to, they ask you to leave. Same, I don't. Then you know, see, people are trying to make reasons as to why you shouldn't have skate parks or you know, for whatever. I said it's the same thing apply to something like that, only a different venue. It's not Little League. It's not youth football. It's not basketball. It's a skate park, and I'm sure they would have the same monitoring that Little League parks and so forth also do. So it's really not that big of a deal and not that hard to do. You could say the same thing. I could say the same thing about Little League field. What if a kid happens to hurt himself at the Little League park? What with a lawsuit? It could happen there as well.
Okay.
It's no different.
I played co-ed softball. I was catching. I'm back here like this catching. I had lifted up my face mask to catch a fly ball, and the kid threw her baseball into my face and hit my front teeth.
Yeah.
Nobody sued anybody.
See, this is what I'm getting. What I'm getting from Jasmine Lady, and you know, we're all here and we're all adults, and we're you know, debating this issue. What I'm getting is that, okay, what you're basically saying, but you're not saying is that, okay, kids in youth baseball, football, whatever, okay, they don't break rules, they don't do this, they don't do that, only skateboarders. This is, again, I sense the discrimination, and I don't think it's right. Because let me tell you something, the kids that play baseball and football and basketball and soccer, I'm sorry, but they're no better than the skateboarders or the bike riders. I can tell you that much from first-hand experience.
Yeah,
They break the laws too, and they don't always follow the rules.
We're going to break. We'll be right back. Woo!
Okay, wow. Jason was a sponsored skater as a youngster in Garden Grove. Won many contests in the 80s. Getting hurt is a risk that all athletics provide, exactly. Getting hurt is part of growing up. There wasn't as much negative rhetoric surrounding skateboarders back then. Agree with that one. Nowadays, they are treated like criminals. I have really seen the sentiment towards skating harden and turn for the worse over the last 20 years. More skate parks would lessen crime amongst youngsters as well as provide them with a positive physical activity to engage in. Exactly.
And Jason is a teacher.
Yeah, I watched a sports show once and said a sports, in their opinion on the show, they said a sport's not really a sport unless there's some kind of danger involved. You know, that's why, by hearing that, I don't really look at golf as being a sport. I know people go out there and make money, like Tiger Woods doing it, but...
Tiger Woods, man, he hurt his knee. Don't talk about my Tiger like that. We need to get on my subject. He's my secret boyfriend. We don't talk about Tiger like that.
Yeah, I was wanting to bring this up. One day I was at the Little League about 3 weeks ago, and there's some Little Leaguers behind the snack bar. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind from like the parents and the bleachers, and they started fighting one another. And then there's like 10 kids on looking while they're fighting, and then they go, okay, you're the best fighter, stop. You know, and I brought that to some of the adults there at the Little League game that was going on. And then at about a couple weeks back also, there were some kids, while the games were going on, there were some other kids on a field just like pitching to one another, hitting the ball, and the kid got hit square in the eye with a ball. And the ambulance and the police and the fire truck, the whole thing came out, and, you know, they put him in an ambulance and took him to the hospital, you know. So all sports have their ups and downs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, we can't just put our kids behind a TV screen with a Nintendo game all day with a cheeseburger from McDonald's, you know, and, you know, that's why obesity is running rampant, because these kids, you know, can't go out and do their sport without getting a ticket or something.
Yeah, no, that's true. I agree with that.
You know, another day at the skate park, my son's girlfriend told me that these big black guys came into the skate park and told all the skaters to line up against the fence and empty out their pockets to rob them. And then one of the kids called the cops, and when the cops showed up, the bad guys had left, but then the cops whipped out their ticket books and started writing them all tickets for no helmets. You know, and instead of trying to find the culprits of the robbery.
I think the bottom line here, and, you know, and Jasmine lady, you know, don't get us wrong. Just because he's on our show doesn't mean, you know, it's okay or whatever. I don't know exactly what you're trying to. You make some valid points, but just you got to keep in mind the whole point of all this. And I agree with this because I've been a coach for so many years, and I see kids. She's saying, you know, well, what about basketball, baseball, and the like? Well, you know what? Guess what? Bike riding, skateboarding is also a sport. They are also sports. And all they're asking is for a place for them to all go, just like Little League has Little League field.